What up, y'all? About a year ago, I didn't even know how locks worked. Nothing, no familiarity. And then I watched this video on YouTube by Stuff Made Here. And he tried to make a lock that the lockpicking lawyer couldn't pick. And so with that, I kind of went down the rabbit hole. And now I have the brown belt on Reddit under the name 5 is Binding. And I started doing that because everybody was like really chill
Well, the dude abides.
and seemed to be like wanting more people to participate, and everybody was real helpful. And I was just looking at that list of all the belt colors and all the locks, and there's just so many ones that are cool, and I just want to catch them all like Pokemon. So yeah, my milestone lock that I've chosen is the Assa Desmo. And it has 8 sliders. There's 4 on each side here. And each slider has 3 gates, 2 of which are false gates and 1 true gate, which is deep enough for the sidebar to retract into so that the lock can open. It was listed as a payphone lock on eBay and came with all this hardware, but I just unscrewed it so you can like gut it and put it in a vise and pick it. But it's got the cool key. 4 sliders over here, 4 sliders over here. And you just kind of go in there and lift each one up until each thing's at the right height, and then it turns open. I got this lock after about 9 months of picking. I had become comfortable, picking the pin tumblers with the security pins and the spools and the standards and the serrated pins. And I had the American 1100s. I was picking those pretty consistently in the Mako 427s and the Paclock 98 Pros. I kind of picked through most of the old stuff in my boxes, like dusty, rusty brass locks from a long time ago. And so I was looking
for something completely different.
And that's why I chose to buy the Assa Desmo. The Assa Desmo was a milestone lock for me because it was
something completely different.
There aren't any springs or drivers there's multiple sidebars. It's got this weird looking key. And the only tools that I needed were just the pry bar and the short hook, the Sparrow's short hook. So I thought that was a really good choice to kind of shift into the next area of locks that I could start to practice on. It really tested my abilities, made me use the pick differently, kind of twist it up, feeling for different kinds of feedback. There's very slight feedback when you're testing whether a slider is set or whether it still needs to be, or whether it's binding or different from a regular pin tumbler. And so it kind of, when I was able to get it picked, I really saw that, hey, I'm learning some techniques here, and that made me look to the future for all the other cool locks maybe I'd be able to get into. So yeah, that's kind of what made it a milestone lock for me. I learned a lot of technique from the Assa Desmo, setting sliders and moving them from false gates to true gates. That's kind of, the whole game of the lock. It's just doing that. So if you want to pick locks like the Assa Twin, you know, or like the Rober has the sliders in it. A lot of other higher security locks. This is a really good one to start with because it's just pure slider goodness. And as I started picking, I was watching videos like LockNoob and stuff. They're talking about how many things there are to do in lock sport and different kinds of locks to pick. And it's one of the things that drew me in, but where to go once I'd gotten sort of comfortable just picking, you know, what I had learned up till then, like pin tumblers and padlocks, and, you know, just what I had gotten comfortable with. This picking the Assa Desmo kind of got me progressing again. And so yeah, I guess one thing I learned is just don't be afraid to try something a little different out of your comfort zone, because you can learn to enjoy a whole new set of things. All right. Well, appreciate y'all, and have a good one.